Hey everyone, Random Randy here, and this is Yarn Talk episode 73. If you are new to the channel, Yarn Talk is a knitting, crochet, and fiber arts podcast guaranteed to give you your recommended dose of fiber in 60 minutes or less. If you are concerned that your fiber intake may be lower than the recommended dosage, feel free to subscribe to the channel so more awesome projects like these can keep your hands and your heart full. This is going to be pretty quick because it is crazy late. I am super tired and my brain is going in a million different directions all at once. So I have a lot of things done this week. A few of them are big things that I've been working on for a while, and a couple of little things. I don't really have any active works in progress right now. I do still have my sock, but I haven't touched it since I showed it to you guys last, so it's not really technically active, I guess. And before anyone tries to give me nonsense about my Christmas sweater, I'd like to show you my not quite Christmas sweater. So, this is a design that I got from Redbubble, which is where I also have all of my weight crochet sleigh stuff. And this is an 8-bit mock Fair Isle Cthulhu ugly Christmas sweater. So yeah, it is a big comfy pullover, and everything was on sale for 20% off when I got it. If you sign up for Redbubble, they send you coupons. It can get annoying, but if you're looking to bargain shop, definitely sign up for their newsletters and their coupon alerts, and that's the time to get stuff, especially if you want nifty things with all of the designs that I've made on them, which at current are few, but there are a couple. And there's a link for all that stuff in the description box down below the video. Anyway, like I said, yarny stuff. And then very brief life stuff, so you'll know why I'm all over the place. And my hair is even crazy. Like, what is up with this curly thing? All of my teenage life, I spent so much time trying to get my hair to curl because my hair was unabashedly straight no matter what I did to it. And since having children, my hair has become my mother's hair, which I really shouldn't complain about because I always wanted it to be that way. And now it is. Whatever. So, things that are done. Ta-da! Here's one over here. It looks really funny because it is, you know, on a mannequin and not a person. But this is my Reminiscence Sweater by Heidi May of the Velvet Acorn. It is a paid pattern on Ravelry. I think it's maybe $5, but it has sizes all the way from newborn baby up to, I believe, 3X, potentially larger. I ended up making it 3/4 sleeved. Hello, Mr. Cat. You can tell that I'm stressed out, so if you hear weird rumbling, it's this. Right here. Right here. Yes, you. Anyway, so after getting this mostly finished, I realized that either my gauge is hyper loose, which I think that might have been the case because it's just half double crochet, so you don't really have to think about it very much when you're working on it. So it ended up being looser than I would have liked, which, rereading the pattern, I think it said something about there being 3 inches of positive ease, which means it's going to be a little bit loose. It's supposed to be a comfy loose fit, and I don't like how loose it was on my arms. So I think next time I would probably do the size down. I did the medium large and I didn't make it as long as it said to, because if I had, it would have been down to my knees. And I didn't make the sleeves as long as it said to because I just got tired of the fact that I was compelled to make these sleeves, the striping, completely match on the sleeves. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it over so you'll be able to see this, but I will also show you a picture of me wearing it. But I made it so that the stripes completely match, and no, it didn't work that way from the ball. I actually cut the colors and counted each of the rows as it faded through the colors. So yeah, it was a pain in the butt. And if you can see, I think if I zoom in, you probably won't be able to see it anymore. Oh, maybe you'll be able to see. But if you look over here, the buttons are the mustache buttons. I decided to go with those ones. And I only did 3 of them on the chest, so when I have it on, it looks very 90s, which I like because I was a child in the 90s, and that is just the way that I enjoy things. So yeah, super fun. It is comfortable. I'm kind of disappointed though because I washed it, and I washed it cold, and I did, you know, the tumble dry low thing. I made sure I didn't wash it with anything that had velcros or zippers so nothing would snag the yarn. And the yarn turned out kind of fuzzy post-wash, which is a bummer because now it looks old, which, you know, that's whatever, I guess. I guess I got spoiled by Deborah Norville yarn, which never gets a halo like that on it. I know some people go for that look. It's not what I was going for, but now I can pretend instead of it being acrylic, it's made out of some posh fiber, right? Right. So that is one thing that is finished. My Reminiscence sweater is done. Second big thing that I was working on that I finally finished is my half double crochet kind of ombre color fading lap gan, which my kids keep stealing off the back of the couch. I was considering maybe trying to sell this, but the kids seem to be madly in love with it, and it's just the right size to wrap around them like a cape, so I think I'm stuck with it. So it ended up being about this wide. I did not measure it, but it's all just done in half double crochet. It's double stranded. The colors don't completely match across it, but any of these rows that have a gray in them, you'll see that the gray kind of changes all on its own. It's because I was using Red Heart Super Saver ombre and matching it up with the other colors. I did 6 rows of each color, and it is, I don't know if I can even fit it all in the shop. Yeah, maybe if I tip back and don't fall. Oh good, there we go. So this is how wide it is. It's maybe close to 5 feet. So close to 60 inches, I would guess, because I have freakishly long arms. So this started out as the Just Marl It blanket pattern, which I think I mentioned before when I showed it when I started making it, which is mostly done in extended single crochet, which can look nice, but I felt that with the 2 colors of yarn I was using, you couldn't really see the stitch work, so it kind of detracted from the cool stitches with the funky yarn colors, and it just didn't seem worth the extra effort, so I just went with half double crochet in the back loop. So that's another big one that's done. And I have a couple other things that are finished, then some sewing stuff, and an acquisition. So this is the modified and now completed version of the Forest Fairy hood that I showed in the last episode, which I had done in super bulky yarn before. And this is done with super bulky yarn and a strand of worsted weight, and then this edge is all done in 3 strands of worsted weight. So it is a very large crocheted hood. It is comfortable, and this is done with an 11.5mm hook. Has this little bit off the back with the tassel that I made in all the matching colors. And the way that it is, you could put a button here if you were so inclined. I don't really like the way that it looks with a button, personally, but I do like it. I mean, you can have it be totally covering your face like a hood. This part is long enough that you can actually tuck it into your jacket. I know because I did that with one of these the other day, just to kind of field test it. But this is made with... It is a Lion Brand Hometown USA, the black, and it's just stranded with a white Red Heart Super Saver. And then this is just the Hometown USA, whatever the completely white color is. This is the white with the blue, and then this edge, if you can see the different colors in the edge, I don't know how well it'll show. Aside from the Karen Simply Soft Party, which is this sparkly blue, it's got a big twist cupcake confetti. I don't remember what the blue type is called, but it's also stranded with just the... Oh, what is that other one? Oh, that's another Caron Simply Soft Party. I don't think you'll be able to see the sparkles because of the way my light is right now. But it's whatever the white Caron Simply Soft Party is. So, lots of sparkles on my edge there. And the tassel, a close-up of it, is just all of the leftover bits of the yarns put together. And the final weight on this, I want to say this was something like 12 ounces of yarn. A lot of yarn, big yarn eater, but for somebody who's trying to wear down their stash pretty quick, it's a good way to use it. So that was my second one that was testing all my revisions to the pattern. And I made this one last night. This one is a whole lot of different shades of green and brown, which I thought was even more fitting for the forest fairy theme. Again, with the tassel. But this is the Hirschner's Holiday yarn is the white throughout here. So it has the silver metallic. The brown tones all the way through it is actually shades of brown, I believe. It's a Red Heart Super Saver, but that is all the way from the top to the bottom. This darker green up here is actually an old leftover bit of Loops and Thread Impeccable yarn. I think that was the Kelly Green colorway. And then down here, once it gets into this more olivey sort of green, this is green tones. Also mixed with the shades of brown and the Hirschner's Holiday yarn. And on top of that, it's also worked with a strand of just Hirschner's Worsted 8 in white. And the edge is crab stitch in the front. And again, this is another heavy one. But this is, you know, it's in the back, it's open on your neck, so it's more like a hood, and the flap folds on it. I actually really like this, and it is an awesome way to use up scraps. You can do all sorts of cool things color-wise with it to use it up. So I think I'm going to be making quite a few more of these to take with me to my craft market next month in December. Because I'm kind of panicking about having enough stuff for that too. And I feel like I need to sincerely stick to only making a few patterns and making those few patterns in high quantity. Because having a lot of variety, people kind of look at stuff and you have so much stuff that there's not really any cohesion. So they don't quite know what to think. So there's that. Other things that I have done as far as yarny stuff are quite small, and I did them this morning in about less than an hour and a half combined for both. This is a dragon scale coffee cozy, and this is done with the very last little bits of that Caron Simply Soft Party in blue, and almost the last bit of this Caron Simply Soft Party in whatever this purple one is. That is one. This is from the actual full pattern. I don't remember the designer, but I'll pop it up and put a link to it. And I actually took that and shortened it because I put this on my travel coffee mug and it's super long, almost the whole length of it, and I don't like that. So I made it with just 3 rows of the crocodile stitches instead, and I like that a lot better size-wise. Like it a lot better. But yeah, it's just crocodile stitch, and it'll go around a coffee cozy. I mean, if you're a wristband type of person, I suppose, you know, you could use it for cosplay with your kids or costume stuff if you're of such a mind. Depending on the size of your wrist, that is. It would be easy to make them into gloves too, honestly. So there's those. I'm planning to make a whole bunch of these. And I also got a sort of crossing cables woven look cozy pattern from the same person. So like I said, I'll link this in the description box below. Super quick. Another good way to use up scraps. I'm all about using up scraps, guys. Alrighty. Sewing stuff. Oof. Alright. These two things are actually for me. And we know that Randy doesn't craft for herself often, but looking through everything in here and seeing the bags of stuff that I have that are half finished because they were things for me, and I never take time to make things just for me, figured I needed to just get them done to have it done and reclaim the space. So this is a pair of pajama pants for me, and I'm calling these Franken Pants. So I didn't really know what I was doing when I cut these initially, because I didn't leave enough space for seams, I guess, when I cut them, and I didn't have enough of a curve. Yeah, if you don't sew, you'll be like, I have no clue what you're talking about, so I'm not really going to extrapolate much, but suffice to say that there are approximately 8 extra pieces that went into making these pants so that I could actually wear them. So after about 3 hours of ripping seams and cutting small pieces and resewing things and trying things on and continuing, I finally got them to fit. They are not perfect, but they are for me, and they are now wearable, and that is all that matters. 1. And then, just to spite myself, I made another pair of pajama pants with some fleece that I bought on clearance a while ago at Joann's, which I'm super excited about. I am a child of the 90s. I was born in 86, but I was a child in the 90s, and being a spooky kid, I was in love with the Goosebumps series by R.L. Stine. And this fleece is not only Goosebumps fleece, but it is fabulous, fluorescent 90s colors. So much. I am in love with it. And making these was so easy and so fast, it took me less than an hour from start to finish to trace, cut, pin, and sew these pants. Yeah. So, now that I am more proficient at sewing, I can at least make pants for me and the boys more often, because I do still have some fleece that I need to make into pants for Hunter. And I took the boys' pajama pants that I made them last year and actually added in a strip to make them longer so that they can still wear them without me having to get rid of them or give them to somebody else, which is nice. Other sewing things that I have done: I finished the last of my pre-order bags. Yay! So hopefully this weekend I will be getting a lot more stuff cut and sewn to actually restock my shop, which is super, super bare right now. It's very old Mother Hubbard right now, and it's freaking me out every time I look at it. So, big Afghan-sized cardinal bag. This is actually a flannel fabric, so you probably can't tell, but it is super duper soft. And like I said last time, has male and female cardinals, and the infamous frost berries are on the interior of this particular bag. These bags are about 19 by 19 with an approximately 7-inch bottom, and they do have double drawstring and a wrist strap. Or, in the case of something as large as this is more like for hanging it up so that your bag doesn't have to sit on the floor. Yeah. So that one is done. Also this one, which is the really cool holiday Arctic critter pattern. Look, there's a narwhal! Narwhals! Polar bear, walruses, penguins. Yeah. The inside is this really cool fabric that I've had for what feels like forever. It's a tonal blue that looks kind of spacey and galaxy-like. And I don't know if I can get it to actually focus on the fabric. Probably not with where my light is. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there are also little goldish metallic bits through here, which is pretty awesome. And it's not like a glitter that sheds, it's just part of the fabric, which is super nice. So we got those two done. And the other ones, Somebody who's in my Facebook group asked if I could make zippered bags, and she actually pointed out some fabrics that she was interested in, so I bought them and I made them into bags that have zippers and interfacing. I got these all done in one day, and I was super duper proud of them. If you are on my personal Facebook, you will have seen how proud I was. So proud that I was quite profane about it. Fair warning, if you do add me on Facebook as a friend, not just joining the Facebook group, I am a sweary person, casually. It's just part of who I am, and I was super excited that I got these all done in one day. So yeah, this is the bag. It is the same size as my normal bags. It's about 14 by 16 with a big square bottom. But this has interfacing and a zipper that completely shuts it. And it has the wrist strap. And folded up, there are 4 bags, and they are all exactly the same size. Exactly the same. I'm so pleased with myself. You have no idea. I feel like a machine because this is wonderful and amazing. So, this fabric, which is a woodland critter fabric, which apparently everyone thinks is super duper neat. That one. Also this one with these cute little bears on bicycles. Milk and cookies. And of course the Arctic Critters one. So those are all the same size. So now that I have those done, I actually need to invoice the people who asked me for them, so that that can get taken care of, so that I can send those out to them soon. I do have an order I need to get packed up before the weekend, and that took a lot longer than I was expecting it to. I have one acquisition, and it is a small thing. There's also another part, but I don't have it with me because it's being used in my socks. I got a really cute vintage looking Halloween print bag from Ella from No Catchy Name. It is super awesome. The inside is just plain black, but I really like this print. It is super cute. I like it very much. Very pleased. And right now it is housing the scrap yarns that I was using for hats and coffee cozies. It's one of the many bags living in my living room right now that needs to get picked up and cleaned soon. So, my life lately has been craziness, and I don't think I mentioned it, but there are potentially going to be a lot of big changes coming in my life and the lives of my children in the next few months. That will lead to me potentially seeming kind of pushy and salesperson-y in regards to my products and the things that I make, and I'm sure that most of you can figure that out without me actually saying anything. I'm sure that most of you can figure that out without me actually going too deeply into it, so I'm just not really going to elaborate and assume that about 90% of you will be able to get what's going on. So things are going to be changing. So I am going into full-on panic, make all the things, hopefully sell all of the things mode. I am working on downsizing my stash of stuff, so I am going to be seriously assessing yarn and will probably have a lot of destash going up in my shop in the next few weeks. I'm also trying to prepare for my craft market that's next month. Adam should be home sometime next week. Yeah, we'll have to go pick him up from the airport, which, by the way, that's why I didn't end up doing a video about the way things went at the craft show, because as soon as I got home from the craft show, I had to unload the car, get the car seats into the car, and then we had to go drop Adam off at the airport so he could go away for school for a month. So, I never really got to decompress from the show, and my brain was just kind of about it. I still have my tally sheets from the show sitting right there on top of that stack of stuff. I still haven't even put away the wire racks. They're sitting in our carport because I just have not had time. And when I do have time, I look at them and I'm just so all over the place with everything that's happening that I just can't bring myself to put them away yet. I just can't. So if I just wait a few more weeks, I won't even have to dig them out of the shed because they'll still be in the carport. I can just load them back in the car. So that's probably how that's gonna go. And Killian's birthday is the 19th, so this weekend we're going to be going to a friend's house to have his birthday party there. She's going to be hosting it at her house, but I just went and bought all the decorations and all the stuff for food today, so I'm going to make most of the stuff ahead of time and have a few things that we'll actually cook once we're there, which will be cool. Joys of living on a military base. Sometimes people can't always come visit you at your house, and that's okay. So that's craziness. Homeschooling is going well. Hunter's handwriting has gotten immensely better. He can make all of his letters the same size now and actually have them in a neat row when he writes out his name, which is nice. I'm beat, guys. I'm super, super tired and out of it. And it is probably close to 9:30 right now. And I've got to do work for at least 2 hours. 3 if I can manage it, but the last couple of nights I've been so tired that it'll be 12 o'clock and I'll be sitting there crocheting, watching TV, and I'll be falling asleep and I'll do one of these. And then I'll feel the hook drop out of my hand and I'm like, and sit back up and keep working, and then tip to the other side and fall over and fall asleep. Sit back up, keep going. Yeah. I know a lot of people are going to say, rest, take time for yourself, you need to relax. I would love to, but unfortunately, I don't really have the luxury of time right now because I don't know how much time I have before we potentially have to live somewhere else and have to pack up and assess all of our possessions and move them at least a town over, if not farther away. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that adventure. So, to wrap it all up before I get too tired, because for some reason sitting here with this super bright light in my face is making me really sleepy, and I don't know why. Gonna have to go run a lap around the house in the cold to wake my butt up. Anyway, when this goes up, it will be Friday, and that will be the last day that you can enter the giveaway that I am having for all of the wonderful fall stuff, because it is still fall for a couple weeks. So I will link to that video. It's the last yarn talk. If you're interested, all you have to do is go over there, follow the instructions to be entered. It's open internationally, worldwide, whatever. As long as you can receive mail from the US, you can get it. And I do have a few patterns that I'm working on. Like I said, I finished up the Forest Fairy Hood pattern. I just need to type it and film it, which will probably be a task for after the weekend is over, but before Adam comes home. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, not a word. And if it is a word, it's a horrible word that should not be. Anyway, last but not least, I wanted to give a thank you to my patrons, people who donate monthly over at patreon.com/randomrandy. I'm working on the first Patreon-only pattern that should be going up in the next week-ish or two, and then I should be more on track to have it out by the first of each month regularly. There are several tiers for rewards there. The first tier, you get access to my Hangetsu shawl pattern for just $2 a month, rather than the flat rate of $5, which is what you'd pay for it if you get the written pattern from Etsy or Ravelry, or you can always watch the video tutorial here on the channel for free. My patrons at current are Karen from Happiness is Handmade, Dana from Tabitha's Treasures, Sonia from Sonia Jones' Crafty Life, and Brittany Morris from her channel of the same name. They are all crafty vloggers, so if you're interested in other vloggers to watch when I haven't put out a video for a while because my life is insane right now, and so am I, go check them out and you will have something to keep you busy. And more awesome things are coming. Change is going to be a good thing, I sincerely hope, even though with all change comes some growing pains. So bear with me, hang in there, hook fast, die warm, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye.